most of the game, all the games so far today have been 2-0, but we can make this and force this into a third game.
That's right. And who can blame him? You know, that's just where he's put in a very good position. They're in it for, they should be in it to win it. But are we going to see another 2-0? Man, it's been raining 2-0s. It's a bad trend for whoever loses game 1, man. Apparently for today, you just have to win game 1. That's all.
Yeah, the momentum.
Momentum's strong, man.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, it's like something seeps into the players where once they see that they've lost game 1, they overthink game 2 to the point where it damages them. Again, the only time we saw a relatively close game 2 was with Aether and U level. Even LPE had a hard time against work. Reached Apex, crumbled in game 2. And now, will we see Gray Esports crumble here against Empire Monarch?
That's a good question, man. That's a good question. Again, pressure is where diamonds are formed.
Oh yeah, they might.
But then again, which teams actually can do it? Which team has that X factor? Which team has the capability to turn it around? I mean, if you don't have the capability to turn around the high pressure situation when you're down by 1, like maybe you really shouldn't. You know, maybe some other teams are more worthy. But again, this is a good test. This is one. This, if you've ever, there's a dream here for Gray Esports. If you have a dream, this is where you're going to be tested. Can you do what champions do, and bring it back from a loss? Remember, Gray Esports down by 1.
Yeah.
They almost lost it. Almost lost the series. In the grand finals, 2-3 versus the Burmese Ghouls, but they were able to turn it around, turn it into a 3-3 and then to a 4-3. So, if you want to be able to fight in the same stage as a team like that, you have to be able to handle this first.
Yeah, handle the pressure. However, they do have the lower bracket. Even if Gray Esports loses this game and they lose 2-0, I would want this to be a very close game. Even if it's like no more towers, sadly they lost. That's still a good sign and something that they can be happy about. Yes, they don't take the win, but going to the lower bracket, it's in a way you can use that as a morale booster. Like, guys, we improved in game 2. We had our backs against the wall. Yeah, we lost, but at least we showed up this time around. And hopefully, better Gray Esports is what we'll see here. But Empire Monarch, man, they're looking really good.
Yeah, right now, when you got things like this happening, like complete bans out of your last picks, that means you're doing something right. Empire Monarch, they're definitely doing something right now with just, not overreacting on the bans. Like, I think that's what Gray Esports is doing, which is a shame because these bans don't really make that much of a sense. That's leaving a lot of other stuff open for the taking here for
Empire Monarch. Yeah, this could mean that, actually, that's a good call by Empire Monarch to take out the Isan Shin, because with having the Brody and then the Claude banned out really early here, Gray Esports could have gone for an Esmeralda as the last ban and then locked in the YSS for themselves, something that we've been seeing a lot as well here. But now, because they committed the Claude ban, you don't want to go up against that, and they also don't maybe feel like they can go counter it with a pick. Now it's going to be a race to who's going to get the course first here. We might see the Ling and Lancelot again, or one of these teams might pull out a Roger. Again, one of the last choices that we have here for the carries other than the Hayabusa.
Whew. That's a lot of carries taken out right away.
Yeah.
And Lance, Ling, Hayabusa, even the Benedetta's out, so that's a big target. And Ezreal's open. I have to admit, Gray Esports, they kind of maybe took Monarch by surprise here with that Esmeralda pick. The Hayabusa, that's a bit too early, but you're running out.
Yeah, you gotta lock into carries already, and I won't be surprised if they want to lock into Baksha too.
Yeah.
Make this a Baksha and a Hayabusa, but then they're gonna go up against potentially a Yuzong or Yuzong or Lapu versus an Esme. But okay, they go for the Baksha and the Farsa instead.
That's risky.
Risky to show the Farsa a little bit too early, but
and not to pick up your carry, which will definitely happen on slot number 3 here for Empire Monarch, and also happening here for Gray. But
I think Gray is also, or I mean Empire Monarch is just confident that You know what? We can just make it a third
can
pick
just
carry.
chill,
Yeah, we
yeah.
can just relax. Because what are the options here? It's either the Hayabusa or the Roger. And if Gray lock in their carrier, okay, they take out the Lancelot.
Happy with the Lance, that's fine. For
Yeah.
me, that is absolutely fine. And Great Esports' lineup is shaping up a lot better than what it did last game.
I'm actually surprised that Gray didn't go for the Ling instead, considering that they're up against a Farsa. They could have. That's instantly something to give a Farsa a
Well,
hard
to be
time.
fair, Lancelot also has kind of that entrance available to him.
Ah, that's true. The puncture and then the ultimate.
It kind of can work, but more, I guess, reliant on the position of the minion wave.
That's true. So Empire Monarch, big question is...
It's
where are they
risky
gonna
to not pick up your carry here.
Yeah.
If you're gonna pick Ling, just do it now because there's a good chance it's gonna get banned out.
Yeah, the question is Empire Monarch gonna go up against the Ling, or they might even go for... Okay, yeah. There. Well, why not? Because, I mean, I was even thinking that maybe they'll pick up the Yuzong, but then the bans don't look good in their favor.
Two bans of one of them possibly a carry. That's not good sign.
Yeah, so again, it's still a Ling and Lancelot that we're going to be seeing here. And for the bans, for Empire Monarch, they actually want to consider banning out the Yuzong. So that it doesn't go to Gray, and that they'll force the Cho to go as the tank here. And again, going up against a Yuzong, if you're a Farsa, is just something that can be very difficult to do. Not impossible, but very difficult.
Yeah, and they have a lot of reach with this lineup, by the way, for Empire Monarch. Front-loaded damage is what's up here for Gray Esports,
Yeah.
though. Got lots of good stuff going on with that Esmeralda, with the Cho. Great pickup potential already. All you need is like one good mid-mage, like a Lo Yi or maybe a Veil, Valir, Chang'e.
Yeah, any of those.
Any of those actually can work here.
And now Jawhead was the one banned out here for Empire Monarch, meaning that, yeah, it's something that could have given that Farsa a really hard time. They're already respecting that Gray might actually give this Farsa a really hard time. So they're just taking out a lot of that strong dive. And I think they're either taking out the tank options here for Empire Monarch, or for Gray Esports, either to force them into making the Cho the tank, or really force them into making the Cho a side laner, and then leave Gray Esports with an unfavorable tank pick.
Yeah, probably that's a good possibility here. So now, no more big tank picks, no more Sylvanas, no more Jawheads, means they might be forced into Atlas, which is fun.
No, yeah.
It's quite fun for me, at least. Other than that, what's a good one? What do you think?
You know what? I'm starting to see the sense of that Atlas pick. If they make this like an Atlas Veil, that's gonna be a lot of
already on the
wombo
side
combo.
Yeah, Atlas Veil is great.
We saw the Atlas work really well
It
with
worked.
Esmeralda earlier with Aether main.
What about Minotaur joke?
Maybe not.
Yeah, shout out to 10S Gaming for that. Yep.
Oh!
Come on, no way.
Oh.
No. It's
They're really just trying to focus
very
too
easy.
much.
This is very easy to dodge for a lot of these carries.
Yeah.
Chang'e's coming in. Yeah, thank you. Even Yuzong is fine, just not, please not the Galakacha. That's gonna be such an easy pick to counter. So now we have a bit better. Okay, Lunox.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, Chang'e was better, but Lunox is gonna have a hard time reaching the Farsa and reaching the Ling here.
I think they went for the Lunox instead. It's sort of more of a conservative pick in a way that they know they have good dives in Empire Monarch. So understanding that the Lunox is going to be a big part of their lineup, they want to have a mage with a good escape tool. Of course, the Power of Order Brilliance is going to be there for the Lunox. So it's the less aggressive pick, and understandable why they'd want to go conservative here, because yeah, they're down a game. If they lose this, they're gonna be going to the lower bracket. So I see the logic in that pick. But for Empire Monarch, for their last one here, they just need a strong frontliner. Maybe the Khalid. It's something that they're gonna go for here.
Right on cue.
There we go.
Perfect. Looks good for Empire Monarch.
Yeah.
I have no qualms whatsoever. The only qualm is that maybe you might, I don't know, Baksha in the mid lane might have... side lane Baksha might have worked better for me. I don't know. It feels like it. The damage output here is going to be very dependent on the early game, on the Farsa. And that's it.
Yeah.
Alice is not going to do well in the early game. Maybe Khalid a little bit. On the other side, they have better early game level 4 picks. They got the Cho. they got Draven on that Deathless Lancelot.
Yeah, he's back on it.
It looks like, for me, this is going to be more of a closer fight than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
great draft from Gray Esports.
Yeah, it could be a game number 3. And you know what? I really agree with you when you said that Baksha on the XP lane could have been better. Because going up against an Esmeralda, that's gonna hit level 4 quicker than the Baksha will. The Baksha's gonna be busy roaming. So by the time Esma's level 4, Baksha, if he's not careful, is only gonna be level 2 or 3, which means they're lacking on the Tortoise's Puissance that they need to get that reduced healing.
Yeah, they gotta slow down the Esme.
Yeah, they need to slow down the Esme. So this drafted by Empire Monarch, I feel like in the early game is gonna be very dependent on how fast Baksha can level up and rotate.
Yep. So we'll have to wait and see if that's going to be the case here on game number 2 between Empire Monarch and, of course, Ray Esports are going to be in for an uphill climb.
Yeah. If this is going to be a win for them, then it's going to be a good story to tell if they do win game 3. But game 2 is still what they need to go through here. And yeah, their draft much closer, can stand a chance. One thing that they have to be careful here is surprise aggression coming in from Empire Monarch, from Team SV. If that Khalid decides to give up a little bit of lane control, or the moment he hits level 4, he's just gonna go around, because I may be corrected once we get into the game, but it seems like he picked up an execute. So that means that's gonna be a really aggressive Khalid who's really looking into just invading, getting someone really low, then execute, get out of there, and then they'll build their momentum from there.
Yeah, the Khalid is very deceptive sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't really have that much damage, and sometimes it's just going to swoop in. And Raging Sandstorm going to be a big set maker here. Again, I'm not sure. Empire Monarch looked like they had a lot of fun with the draft last game. They did a lot of unexpected stuff with that draft, with the very early spiking Claude.
Yeah.
Which we don't really see a lot. It went for Blazing Duets early on, like team fight Blazing Duets, right? I mean, 3 times in a row. So
yeah, usually we see Claudes really just staying in lane and not leaving,
saving it up, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe Empire Monarch just got some more surprise in store for us with this lineup. We'll never know unless we get into it. And you're right, this is going to be execute on that Khalid. And Gray Esports, they got some answers of their own here with early game Lunox, early game Cho, and maybe they can ramp up Draven a lot faster this time around.
Let's see if it's gonna work out this time for Gray Esports. One thing that they're lacking in their lineup is gonna be that big team fight set. They do have that Falling Star Moon, but then that's it. They'll have a pick-off potential with Cho, but that's just a -1. Their lineup actually looks like it could shine with a lot of group stuns. Speaking of getting stunned, Sekuno was just completely surprised. Now he's going to be forced to give up some levels in lane.
Yeah, at least he's going to have to back off a little bit. There's still going to be Balagbag catching up on the experience, but again, you are getting pushed back. That's going to hasten up the clear for Empire Monarch with Viray. And going up on top, you want to go for that early kills. Can they do this? This is 4v1 possibly. But no, it's only 1v3. Not enough really to take down Esme at this point.
Yeah, Balagbag decides to not help out Esme, not trusting that he'll be able to get away from that. I think Ubasa and Arlak was just kind of mad that he didn't hit level 4 right before he went for the Esmeralda. Because if he had that Tempest of Blades, he could have really potentially taken out Kenesu there, because it was a 3 versus 1 situation, but you know, it happens. Just wasn't able to get the levels just in time. Now, Balagbag here also has to be really careful with his positioning, because his presence in this fight, in this game, is really important, because that could be your direct answer to Arlak's Ling. And having the Cho up as long as possible, as long as he doesn't get picked off too early, as long as he doesn't position himself too aggressively in shrubs, and he gets deleted before a team fight would ensue, he could be one of the reasons why they would win this match, as long as he can counter that Ling.
Yeah, and again, the turtle here, early game, very important. Draven, it's not going to be as easy as earlier, where Draven really just walked in and got it. He's going to have a lot of contention here, and that's exactly what's happening here with Feathered Airstrike in the J-Lo, doing what Yu-Jongs do best, disrupt the Feathered Airstrike, and the fight is happening First blood onto the lane. That is not good for Empire Monarch.
And ambush, 50%. Oh, just getting out of Thorned Rose of Draven just in time. But even if it got hit, it'd probably survive it. Imba J-Lo here is going to be, now other than Balagbag, one of the reasons why Great Esports could win. Just time that Black Dragon form for the Feathered Airstrike of Farsa. You called it. He wasn't able, Viray wasn't able to make the most out of it because he was interrupted.
Yeah, I think that was 1 or 2 strikes and he was out. He had to really fly because he was getting attacked by Shaw Essence over and over again. So that's a good set there. And again, the counter pick happening and really working for Grey Esports so far.
And this is the Grey Esports lineup that has 2 heroes with assassin emblems. They put up the killing spree on Imba J-Lo. That's Carl Flap Teasy vibes right there. A lot of Juzongs would go for the Festival of Blood, but with this assassin emblem, that's a lot of damage.
That's right. Ambush 1v3 right now. Did he use the Raging Sandstorm yet? Not yet. That's going to be the Tempest of Blades. 1 kill going over Draven. Deathless no more. Can actually go for more. Saikuno here for the cleanup, but not going to be happening anytime soon.
Great counter response there by Empire Monarch. Grey Esports. Looks like they had a sure kill in their hands, but they just dilly-dallied way too much. Or maybe, you know, benefit of the doubt, Ambush 3435 was able to use that Raging Sandstorm just in time to get that 3-man stun. Great rotation by Viray. Wow.
Nice one on the Purify here. At least we're able to stop that one big play from Balagbag that could have been really bad. Viray with good timing. And the rest of the team trying to make it up. Bull with win. The Alice plays in the mid lane. Turtle is going to be very close. It's half HP. Dive in by Kensu, but Turtle will still go over to Ubasan. Arlak. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Ubasan. Yeah, there you go.
Ubasan, Arlak. Yeah, the fact that he has 2 capitalized A is kind of throwing me off.
Yeah, I know.
And the V, you have letters.
Very much turning me off.
Smaller case letters.
But that's okay. That's fine. I mean, you know, hopefully they change it once we get into the regular season, if they get in. So, big questions here. Happening right now. We got Imba J-Lo and Saikuno trying to clear up on top. Ambush on the bottom with the Fallen Storm from Kenisu. And not really that much going to be happening here, of course. For the meantime, though, Necklace of Durance will be active onto Viray. 2018 will only help and slow down the regeneration of this Yuzhong. And, of course, the Lunox and the Esmeralda. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of people getting affected by anti-lifesteal.
Yeah, so that's something Grey Esports has to respect, that, okay, since they actually went for damage on their Yuzhong, he won't have as much lifesteal as he would if he had Festival of Blood. And we saw this earlier, the early picks of the Necklace of Durance, respecting the lifesteal or the regen capabilities of their lineup. It worked really well. It just slipped my mind which team it was. I believe it was ArkAngel who picked up a Necklace of Durance really early with their Farsa. I think it was Escalera, and I think this is going to work out really well again for Viray.
Yeah, once more, again, the defensive Tempest of Blades was a little bit over eager here by Ubasan. So, ouch. Number 1 and number 2 not going to be hitting. Number 3 just for safety. And on the bottom lane, I think they're going to catch Kenisu. The shields are too much though. I don't think they're going to be doing as much damage as I think they would. Although they are zoning up really hard for the turtle happening in 10 seconds. Maybe try to get them low. Try to get them, force them to go back in the base. Could be the trick, but we're even on the, almost even on the economy here, man.
Yeah, and it just dawned on me that Empire Monarch just is chasing after that regen reduction. They already have the Baksha with them, but then they said, you know what, 1 regen reduction isn't enough, we'll bring out 2, let's give a Necklace of Durance as well for Farsa. Though it sounds funny, it could actually turn out really well for them.
I think it will turn out very well for them, because I think if they're angry, you know, Bulvet can also do that. And that's going to be everyone reduced with healing. Right now, though, it's everyone is swimming. Oh, my God. Turtle goes over to Ubasan once more. Timing on Tempest of Blaze is perfect. Although he can't really pull out the skills, he's going to lose that turtle buff. And that's one big thing lost. But Bulwit can get one more kill. Forces the flicker out of Balagbag 1 for free. They can actually get even a lot more here with Ambush coming in to the fight. Saikuno, though, will be able to regen out, and Kensu will be able to block on out some of that damage. Oh, look at that. Oh!
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Beautiful hits with the execute.
Not sure if you guys heard it, but even our brothers
Everyone
on the Filipinos
just went,
us.
oh, everyone in the room just went, oh, that was beautiful.
Oh,
Disrespect
man.
play from Ambush 3-4-3-5.
The execute on the Khalid. I told you it would happen, even though we didn't see a lot of invades from him, and that's the first kill that he's gotten. Gray has got to respect that. Saikuno has been... I haven't felt him in this game with this Lunox. And I feel like he is the weak point right now in his team. The weakest link in this game, rather, for Gray Esports. And now Empire Monarch, they're really smelling that 2-0 win.
Really do, and this is looking really good so far, but it's far from over. 2,000 goal lead will mean very little in the late game. An extension forcing the Pusans over into this box. Oh my god, that's gonna be... I was close. Actually, I thought MPL was gonna go for it, but no.
Yeah,
they're playing a little bit more conservatively here.
Yeah, you're starting to see the caution and the fear a little bit of, oh, we don't want to go down to the lower bracket. But that looked like it could have been a good opportunity.
Yeah.
But you know what? Understandable why they would want to be cautious in this scenario. But Tempest of Blaze will be popped in the middle lane.
Once more under the turret, they can go. But looks like the Blades are not going to be reaching that far. Only the Feather Airstrike, and Lord will be spawning here. Not really as big of a deal as you think. It's only level 1, but could still be a big objective they can play around. So Empire Monarch could probably play around it if they want to. But, oh, did they see that? Did they see the Phantom execute?
Yep. I think they did.
They did. They're going to be a lot more confident coming into this one with Bullwin on the top side, rotating swiftly towards the mid. And that's going to be an easy tower without an ultimate, the Lancelot. They were very easy for them to push.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that tension was there to provide the info for Empire Monarch that, yeah, this guy has no ult. Let's just dive the tower and break it right away. So the stars aligned for Empire Monarch there.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, they did not pick up the necklace of the rats for the Alice, but they still picked up the Sea Halberd for Obasa and Arlak.
Right.
So they're still really just focusing on making sure that the other team... Exactly.
Yeah, overkill, anti-life steal, but it also does provide some physical damage penetration, so it's fine.
Attack speed as well is going to be
Attack speed also works very well for this hero, and again, 1, 2, and 2 so far on that Ling doesn't look threatening. But it is. It's a very late lollipop, 10 minutes into the game.
That's an interesting item.
That was a very interesting item pickup. I wouldn't do that. But doesn't matter, does it?
Oh, Saikuno gets picked off again. He has been ejected, but he was not the imposter.
Oh, Balagbag. Extension not really scared at all of this Cho. No matter what you do, Tempest of Blades are coming for you. That's another kickoff, but he's going to go down. And that's going to be the rest of Empire Monarch going into the fight. Once more in.
Raging Sandstorm, but that's going to be a kill and a killing spree for Bullwit. MPL just going and flying around, but they smell and feel that this is a win. But MPL, the magic regen, or the life regen, sorry, is actually there for him. Despite all the anti-regen items that Empire Monarch has, MPL still stealing a lot of life with the Sha Essence.
Yeah, and surprisingly too. I mean, Sha Essence, what? Seriously? I mean, we've thought by now these things would be shut down already, but no. Not really.
It's still there, and Empire Monarch, I think it's going to be the X factor here for their team, or one of their keys to victory. Still 100% kill participation with 7 assists. So it just goes to show that Empire Monarch, they really center their ability to pick off and their abilities in team fights around this far side. Understandable. Balagbag needs to be careful. Almost could have gotten picked off there, but the members of Gray were nearby. The Lord has spawned, and this could be a really big fight for the Lord here. Empire Monarch was working well for them. They have the fires and they have the Alice that could really disrupt the members of Gray. But then MPL is starting to sense that, you know what, maybe I really should just dive the Farsa. Maybe I should really just abuse my Black Dragon form to mess up that Link, to mess up that Alice, and just have confidence in my own lifesteal, in my own hero mechanics to turn it around for my team.
Yep, and that confidence really is paying off, man. somehow they're still holding on, but not for long. Looks like Gray Esports. Look at that. They don't know what they're gonna do now. Everyone's spread around the map.
Yeah, they're up against a really strong split pusher. They want position around the Lord. Empire Monarch is handling this beautifully.
Yeah, and even mid lane control here for Empire Monarch with that Khalid. The Khalid at this point is just scary as well. 1-0-3, but has a damage output of a really fed assassin.
Now Gray spinning around the Lord. Feathered airstrike. I think that might be a little bit too early, Rockhard.
Too early, only pulls off 2. Clears the minion waves that does not damage any members of SV, of Gray Esports rather. And this is the ultimate zone here. Every corner is zoned out here. And they could go for a really big call here onto Balagbag. He flickers out, but he's going down. I know. Extension is in danger though.
He's actually a 1-for-1 trade. Both tanks go down. Feathered airstrike committed yet again, and I think that was just really messy from both teams. Balagbag went in way too early and way too deep, and then triple extension just did not stop the ultimate zone out. He just kept going. And Empire Monarch also, I think, it could have been a wrong call to chase after Balagbag because they had free reign over the Lord. Henshin was doing everything he can and buying time.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they're just buying time at this point, right? That Lord was just also kind of 50-50 for me. I mean, why was everyone zoning and only one guy was hitting it? It was like, what was the objective there? Maybe the objective was to try to get kills, but it didn't really happen, and they again bought too much time for nothing. It was weird.
It was a very strange exchange there, but
and
now
here's take 2.
Take 2.
You know what? It failed in the first time. Let's go ahead. Let's wrap up. Let's try again.
Yeah, this could work out.
This could work out. They had no one's hitting. Only one guy's hitting it.
Yeah, Empire Monarch. I think they're looking for a team fight before they go full commit on the Lord.
There's just one bait, literally baiting someone to go in. And I think that's Balagbag. It worked very, very well. They got one, and they can get more. That's the flying in, but JLo trying to go in for the kill, but not really getting any targets. That's the Black Dragon form already out of the question. Very 2018, very safe on the back line. And that's Bullwit and Ambush going for the dives. A lot of AoE damage. Arlok could go in. Temple of Blaze goes down. That's a double. That's a mega kill for Bullwit. That could be it. That's a wipeout. A triple and a wipe. And that should be the push. That's a long death timer for 4 members of Gray Esports. And you can really tell Empire Monarch, they want to finish. This is how you TP. This is when you do it. Only Balagbag going to be remaining again. This guy was the reason, I think, for that last one. And will it matter? He's trying his very best, but it will not be the case. That is a 2-0. Empire Monarch finishes the game.
Wow. The absolute patience from Arlak. Earlier, I said Draven had the patience of Hajizi. I'm sorry. Arlak playing like Hajizi in that last team fight.
Man.
Really just waiting for the last moment that
literally
he was just watching like, dude, I'm going to stay here. Not low enough. Not low enough.
Nope.
Low enough.
Nope.
Triple
there you
kill.
Go. Triple.
What a play.
What a play. And again, oh man, Balagbag. Twice in a row, he got caught out.
Yeah.
And again, you don't really give the tank set to that guy. I mean, sad to say, right? I mean, what was he doing for both of those times? He got baited out twice.
Yeah.
And failed miserably twice as well in a row.
It was, of course, he was doing what the tank needed to do, which was to get information.
Get info,
but
right.
It was out of sync again.
He did it too much.
Yeah, it was too much information. It was TMI.
Oh, man. I don't know, man. I felt bad for that. But at the same time, Gray Esports, they are still not out of count yet. They're going to go in for a possible last try again still. And that's going to be Empire Monarch. Upper bracket, man.
They secure the the upper bracket. Advancement here. They're going to be going up against ArkAngel. I think that's going to be happening tomorrow. So we've secured, we know already who's going in the upper, who's going in the lower. Of course, Work is moving upper. PvE, Patrick Viray, Aether Main is moving upper. ArkAngel's moving upper. And now Empire Monarch is advancing upper as well. And of
So-
course, all the other teams we didn't mention, they're gonna have to go into the lower bracket.
Yep, and we're gonna have a lot of fun with this for sure. So stick around. We're gonna have some analysis coming in from Midnight. Let's talk about what happened in that game.
Thank you so much, casters. Time and time again, itemization and execution proves to be the key ingredients to be a successful team. And, you know, Empire showing up in this game with very well executed strategies. Once again, my name is Midnight and we break down natin kung ano ba yung mga key ingredient dito for Empire to be able to win that game. Now, very first thing that the casters have mentioned, no, yung si Halberd pickup ni Ling. That's very important for this team to be able to be successful. Now, there are two options for this team. No? Dalawa lang yung pupuntahan ni Ling sa game na to. Either he goes for the Demon Hunter Sword route or bibili siya ng Deadly Blade tapos tatapusin niya yung endless battle. Essentially, para siyang fighter. No? Lalaban at lalaban yung Empire Monarch dito. Now, we're gonna look at the items here on our screens. Again, explain ko lang, dalawa lang yung pupuntahan ni Ling dito sa game na to. It's either mag-farm siya with the Demon Hunter Sword, continuously cut waves, and risk coming to the late game, or fight them head-on. And ang naging choice ni Ling dito is he went for the Sea Halberd first. Of course, binili pa rin naman niya yung Demon Hunter Sword, pero una niyang binili is the Sea Halberd. Now, the two items does provide different things, but both of them have attack speed. So, hindi naman nabawasan yung farm. Either mag-farm siya ubasan Arlak dito. Actually, at some point in time, mas mayaman sa kanya yung Alice, pero dahil sa mga fights na nakukuha nila, yung mga pinapanalo nilang team fight, ay lumaki lalo yung lead ni Ling over the enemy. Now, Gray is finding it hard, really, really hard to be able to fight against Empire because of this existing item on the Ling. Hindi sila makalaban kasi yung frontliner nila ay napapatay ng Empire Monarch. Again, yung sustain ay bawas na bawas sa side nila. So the frontliners weren't really doing that much against Empire. Of course, si Lunox din dito nahirapan kasi kapag pinasok sila ng Alice, kailangan niya mag-Order of Brilliance. So essentially, he is just saving himself. And yung mobility niya is limited with his usage of his offensive ultimate. So hindi rin niya talaga magamit yung kanyang Necklace of Durance, no? Yung item na pang-counter dapat kay Alice to be able to duke it out against Empire Monarch. Now let's look at the highlights. There are a lot of things to take a look at here on this specific game. I would like to highlight the play of Draven. He is always finding the Ling on this team fights. Pero syempre, binabalikan din naman siya ni Ubasan Arlak. And very important, yung mga turtle steals ng Ling dito. Even though namatay siya dito sa specific clash na to, no, na miscalculate na yung buhay ng Lancelot and mali din yung pinuntahan niya sa Tempest of Blades. But Bullwit 16 is here to save the day with a flicker and usage of the second skill. Now, sa Ikuno on these clashes, again, wala siyang magawa. The mobility is very, very limited. We've pointed this out earlier on and hindi siya makagalaw. This is because of the fact na yung mga frontline heroes ay essentially hindi nag-exist sa side ng Gray because Ling would just switch targets and bahala na yung mga kapatid niya mag-follow up. Essentially, parang ano siya dito, ang tingin ni Ling sa sarili niya earlier on was just reduce the HP or the sustain factor of the enemy and bahala na yung kampi ko to clean up. Pero syempre, pagdating ng late game, important na yung magiging role ni Ling dito. No? Siya na actually yung taga-ubos provided with the information na binibigay ni Extension on the Basha. Actually, there was one specific clash na gusto kong makita. Here's the clash. No? Etong clash na to, nagsimula because of the Basha. He was providing the essential information for the team and napakaganda rin ng pwesto ni Farsa doon. Sabi niya, okay, nakikita natin lahat ng heroes, labas na natin yung ultimate. Kahit puntahan nila tayo, hindi sila pwede lumapit kasi nga nababox out sila mismo nung existence ni Ling, and that is what made the game a lot harder for Team Gray and easier naman for Empire. Pero medyo matagal-tagal yung game, no? It still was close enough to be to be classified as an exciting game. Now, the MVP for that game is definitely Extension. No? Dapat talaga i-extend yung kontrata nito ni Basha. We've seen this earlier on our series. Sobrang importante ng mga ganitong klaseng players. They collect information, and this information, yung mga teammates mo kapag pre-process yan, tsaka kayo nakakagawa ng plays. And that's the thing with Empire Monarch. They've always been good at controlling the map information and making calculated plays. No? Alam nila kung saan lane pupunta. They know how to split the map. For the most part, si Alice mag-isa sa may top lane. Pag sinasabi na Basha, okay guys, andito lahat. Ling, punta ka sa may top lane, split push kayo. It's all because of this guy. Lahat na information na binibigay niya ay nagagamit ng kanyang teammates. So if you want to be able to make plays like this, no, act like this guy. Bigay nyo lahat ng information na kaya nyo. And siguro, practice Basha, no? Kasi Basha is really a good hero with this job, no? Collecting information. And I'm really excited to see more of these games of Mobile Legends. Casters, kayo ba? Excited ba kayo?
I'll be honest, I'm super excited by what they did here. And again, the possibilities for this team is very much endless.
Yeah. Oh man, extension, we didn't talk about him much, but I agree with Midnight there. The information game was what gave Empire Monarch the edge here. And all that he said, the information, all the shot calls, I believe he might be the shot caller there. I see it happening because they really did center their movement around where Baksha was in the map.
Yep, and again, smart play, smart decision making. It was not an all-in lineup. I mean, there were some points where Ubasan was going to be hesitant.
Yeah.
There were points where Ubasan had to be patient for them to get maximum effect. And they were able to find those opportunities, surprisingly, very easily coming into this matchup. Was it because, you know, maybe the enemy was a little bit impatient? We saw some of that as well.
Yep.
Maybe, but whether this or that is the case, the thing is they are winning. They did win 2-0, and they are going to be moving forward into the brackets. So we're very close to this next one is going to be match number 5 today. So you've had a long day already here, and it should only get better anytime soon.
Yeah, because now for the next 2 matches, the last 2 matches of the day, we're going to be seeing 2 teams eliminated from the qualifiers. Will it be LPE? Will it be U-Level? Will it be Panda? Or will it be Gray? A lot of questions, but it will be answered when we come back.
A long...
Moment na sana, pero hassle ang kate. Yung kati na yan, dahil sa dandruff yan. You need Head and Shoulders. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kate. No more hassle sa moment. Goodbye na sa kate dahil 100% dandruff-free ka.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kate and Bea.
Bad timing ang kate. Baka dandruff yan? Use Head and Shoulders every day. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes
Head and
kate.
Shoulders.
Para di
Unlike
babalik-balik, katigan for good na. Dahil 100% dandruff-free ka.
Hi guys, I'm here with Kate.
Para araw-araw, close na close. Max pinabango pa.
Hi everyone, this is Catherine Bernardo.
At ako naman po si Daniel Padilla. Guys, may PayMaya na ba kayo?
Kung wala pa, dapat mag-download na kayo sa Google Play or App Store dahil ito na ang kusong pangbayad ngayon.
Ang PayMaya is isang mobile payment app using only your cell phone and you can pay practically anything, kahit online transactions pa yan.
With PayMaya, hindi mo na kailangan magdala ng cash for your day-to-day expenses. Pwede kang magbayad ng bills, bumili ng prepaid load, mag-online shopping, mag-send money, magbayad gamit ng QR code at marami pang iba.
Pero ang the best part dito ay may balik-bayad ka pa.
Each time you use PayMaya, may balik sa'yo na cashback at rewards, kaya sulit ang oras mo dahil hindi mo na kailangan pumila and you can just pay using your app anytime, anywhere.
Kaya guys, huwag kakalimutan, pag may babayaran ka, don't pay cash, pay Maya.
Hi everyone, welcome to the latest episode of Road to Mythic, featuring Paquito, the Heavenly Fist. We will walk you through the gameplay and tactics so you can grind the ranks with ease. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. Paquito is a versatile fighter who has a unique mechanic, Champ Stance. Champ Stance grants Paquito a variety of combos, leaving him enough room for skillful plays. Paquito builds stacks when hitting enemy heroes with basic attacks or dealing damage with skills. Upon reaching 4 stacks, Paquito enters Champ Stance and enhances his next skill. Note that Champ Stance not only enhances the damage output of Paquito's skills, but also the shield granted by his first skill. The enhanced shield drastically boosts Paquito's survivability. The second skill serves as Paquito's damage tool, which inflicts massive damage. Moreover, in jab stance, casting the second skill allows Paquito to throw 2 jabs instead of 1, making the already impressive damage output even more devastating. Paquito's ultimate is a perfect skill for both teamfights and diving. The enhancement brought by Champ Stance makes it possible for Paquito to inflict control effect twice with just 1 ultimate cast. The ultimate is mighty handy, whether Paquito needs to initiate a teamfight or chase down an enemy target. Since Paquito is an agile fighter in possession of various combos, we highly recommend this set of equipment, as it ensures good survivability while boosting his damage output. Prioritize Bloodlust Axe, as it drastically increases Paquito's endurance and cooldown reduction. Next, Warrior Boots would be a perfect choice to get some extra movement speed. Blade of the Heptazes and Endless Battle are next in line, as their passive further enhances Paquito's basic attacks. Lastly, Queen's Wings and Immortality will help Paquito exert dominance in teamfights while staying alive and well. Note that once Champ Stance is active, all Paquito skills will finish their cooldowns. Whether you're going for damage or control, it's never wrong to think twice beforehand. 2 casts of Jab are perfect for following up the damage, while 2 casts of Knockout Strike allow Paquito to inflict great control effect. In the laning phase, Paquito first casts Jab to quickly approach the target and inflict damage. Next, a basic attack helps him stack up for Champ Stance. He then quickly follows up with Heavy Left Punch and basic attacks to complement the damage. When Paquito enters Champ Stance, he casts the Enhanced Jab to deal explosive damage. When the teamfight breaks out, Paquito cuts into the enemy formation with the Enhanced Jab. Next, he casts Knockout Strike to control the enemy crowd and follows up with a jab cast right away to stick to the enemies. After a cast of Knockout Strike, enemies are once again controlled. Paquito grabs this chance to inflict damage with Heavy Left Punch and gains a shield for the later pursuit. Paquito owns the spotlight through the early to mid game. Once he reaches level 4 and acquires the ultimate, his mobility will be taken to another level. It is recommended to roam and help teammates out to extend the lead. And when Paquito is equipped with good items and has a relatively high level, he will become an agile harasser who is capable of initiating teamfights and posing a kill threat to the enemy backline. Well, that wraps up this episode. Stay tuned for more insightful guides from Road to Mythic as you climb the ranks. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
Now Dragonborn is here.
Fight for the ultimate anthem. A warrior's strength. You have slain an enemy. Monster kill. The past on. You have slain an enemy. Killing spree. The legendary. The past. You have slain an enemy. A true warrior would give life to the things he wants to accomplish. Double kill.
Now Dragonborn is here.
This land is our homeland, and it will soon be a burial ground.
Moment na sana, pero hassle ang kate. Yung kati na yan, dahil sa dandruff yan. You need Head and Shoulders. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kate. No more hassle sa moment. Goodbye na sa kate dahil 100% dandruff-free ka.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kate and Bea.
Bad timing ang kate.
Baka dandruff yan? Use Head and Shoulders every day. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kate. Para di pa balik-balik, kati gone for good na. Dahil 100% dandruff-free ka.
Hi guys, I'm here with Kate.
Para araw-araw, close na close. Max pinabango pa.
Hi everyone, this is Catherine Bernardo.
At ako naman po si Daniel Padilla. Guys, may PayMaya na ba kayo?
Kung wala pa, dapat mag-download na kayo sa Google Play or App Store dahil ito na ang usong pangbayad ngayon.
Ang PayMaya is isang mobile payment app using only your cell phone and you can pay practically anything, kahit online transactions pa yan.
With PayMaya, hindi mo na kailangan magdala ng cash for your day-to-day expenses. Pwede kang magbayad ng bills, bumili ng prepaid load, mag-online shopping, mag-send money, magbayad gamit ng QR code at marami pang iba.
Pero ang the best part dito ay may balik-bayad ka pa.
Each time you use PayMaya, may balik sa'yo na cashback at rewards, kaya sulit ang oras mo dahil hindi mo na kailangan pumila and you can just pay using your app anytime, anywhere.
Kaya guys, huwag kakalimutan, pag may babayaran ka, don't pay cash, pay Maya.
Hi everyone! Welcome to the latest episode of Road to Mythic, featuring Paquito, the Heavenly Fist. We will walk you through the gameplay and tactics so you can grind the ranks with ease. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. Paquito is a versatile fighter who has a unique mechanic, Champ Stance. Champ Stance grants Paquito a variety of combos, leaving him enough room for skillful plays. Paquito builds stacks when hitting enemy heroes with basic attacks or dealing damage with skills. Upon reaching 4 stacks, Paquito enters Champ Stance and enhances his next skill. Note that Champ Stance not only enhances the damage output of Paquito's skills, but also the shield granted by his first skill. The enhanced shield drastically boosts Paquito's survivability. The second skill serves as Paquito's damage tool, which inflicts massive damage. Moreover, in Champ Stance, casting the second skill allows Paquito to throw 2 jabs instead of 1, making the already impressive damage output even more devastating. Paquito's ultimate is a perfect skill for both teamfights and diving. The enhancement brought by Champ Stance makes it possible for Paquito to inflict control effect twice with just 1 ultimate cast. The ultimate is mighty handy, whether Paquito needs to initiate a teamfight or chase down an enemy target. Since Paquito is an agile fighter in possession of various combos, we highly recommend this set of equipment, as it ensures good survivability while boosting his damage output. Prioritize Bloodlust Axe, as it drastically increases Paquito's endurance and cooldown reduction. Next, Warrior Boots would be a perfect choice to get some extra movement speed. Blade of the Heptazes and Endless Battle are next in line, as their passive further enhances Paquito's basic attacks. Lastly, Queen's Wings and Immortality will help Paquito exert dominance in teamfights while staying alive and well. Note that once Champ Stance is active, all Paquito skills will finish their cooldowns. Whether you're going for damage or control, it's never wrong to think twice beforehand. 2 casts of Jab are perfect for following up the damage, while 2 casts of Knockout Strike allow Paquito to inflict great control effect. In the laning phase, Paquito first casts Jab to quickly approach the target and inflict damage. Next, a basic attack helps him stack up for Champ Stance. He then quickly follows up with Heavy Left Punch and basic attacks to complement the damage. When Paquito enters Champ Stance, he casts the Enhanced Jab to deal explosive damage. When the team fight breaks out, Paquito cuts into the enemy formation.
And welcome back to the main qualifiers of MPL Season 7. My name is Uomi, and together with me is Reptar, and we will be your casters for match number 5 of today's broadcast. It's between LPE and I think Gray Esports.
U-Level, actually.
U-Level.
Yeah, we just saw Gray Esports come out, so it's going to be U-Level versus LPE. And the interesting thing is, these are two teams that had a lot of, how do I say this, potential to really make it into the regular season. Of course, all the teams here have potential, but in terms of when people are asked which teams do you think will make it in, people would say, some would say LP, some would say U-Level. But now, here on the first day of the main qualifiers, one of them has got to go home.
Yeah, unfortunately for a lot of fans out there, especially for fans that predicted that ULPL will be, one of the contenders to go out of this qualifiers, there is a slight chance that they have to end their journey tonight. And again, it's quite unfortunate to see two teams that are highly favored to have an exit on day 1, because tomorrow we'll actually know who's going to be the two teams out of the 3,040 teams that we had for the open qualifiers that will qualify for the regular season.
Yeah, it's been a wild week for Mobile Legends Esports, and I'm sure that this game number 5, game 1, is going to be a definite cracker here, as both of these two teams do not want to go home. Won't be surprised here if this is going to be a 3-game series.
Yeah, of course, both teams will just bring out their A game. There's no way that they will give up their spot or their chance to go back to the MPL. And for ULPL, for LPE, there's a lot of things to prove, especially with their massive fan base and a lot of expectation. Again, the pressure is real for both organizations here. So let's enter the first banning phase of the 5th match of tonight. Selena, a Mathilda, and a Brody on the side of LPE.
Pretty much standard bans that we're seeing here, and it's only up until like once this banning phase is over where we're gonna see what really the call here is for these two teams and how they set the tempo. One thing I'm gonna look out for is if either of them are gonna be banning out a marksman other than the Brody. If another YSS or maybe a Claude ban will come out, then that might mean that the first 3 picks for either side is going to be a race for who the carries are going to be.
Yeah, and speaking of Claude, we did see a lot of appearances from Claude from the earlier matches that we played for today, but not all of them are actually wins. So I think the Claude, at least for today, is sitting at around 50 or maybe a little bit higher than 50% in terms of win rate. So the Claude might be a good pick for getting course, but so far I feel that the Lancelot has been the most effective course so far throughout the day. We've seen ArkAngel use it, we've seen a lot of other teams use it as well, and almost all of those games are wins for them. But we are finally ending the first banning phase of this game, and I am just waiting for limit breakers here for ULPL. As you said, might be a marksman ban.
Yep, if they ban out one of it, nope, they're still going to go for the Sylvana ban here. So now it's going to be a race for what the tanks are going to be in this game, because you've taken out the Sylvana, you've taken out the Jawhead. Means that in the first 3 picks, before we go into the second banning phase, these two teams might want to consider already locking in their tank. Because when we get into the second banning phase, that's when, if the team that didn't lock in the tank is going to go into it without a tank in the second phase, they're going to get locked out. They're going to be focused banned to hell if the other team has their tanks locked in here. So this might be, we might be seeing Cho tanks come in here. Baksha is available and has actually risen once again as a tank pick and not just an XP laner. The possibilities are there, but they need to be careful now going into the first few picks.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned focus banning. I feel like it's an essential part of draft, especially on the second picking phase.
Yeah.
Before the second picking phase, rather, where you can just basically lock out a lot of heroes from certain roles, especially if they decided not to draft early. This is where we see a lot of adjustments from drafts, that unfortunate adjustments. Let's say the Yu Zhong is banned. Let's say that the basically forcing the Thams out. It's possible. We've seen it earlier. And now we are looking at an immediate Esmeralda lock-in for the side of ULVL. We've seen a lot of Esmeraldas as well throughout the day. And Esmeralda is looking to be one of those offlaners that could really just tank up a lot of damage because of the shields.
Yep, and so again, the instant response. So if your opponent picks up an Esmeralda, you pick up the Bakshit there. Immediately having someone who can reduce the healing or the regen that the Esmeralda has. They also decide to lock in the Isan Shin here. U-Level still have a lot of options for their carry, so they actually don't need to lock it in right away. They are actually in a really good position to save their carry pick here since they have the Farsa and the Esmeralda. They have a lot of options for their carries to bring it in there to round out the damage that they can deal. So they might actually pick up their tank here if they want to, because again, it might get focused. But nope, they said, you know what, we're gonna bring out the Ling right away.
Man, they didn't wait at all. But again, Lancelot is still open for LPE. If they don't want to lock in another role so far, they could lock in that Lancelot to just match that Ling so far. Maybe to avoid the Lancelot man as well if ever they do not pick that Lancelot. Because again, there's not a lot of assassins right now that could actually match the Ling. But then again, they already have that Isun Shin. So we need to wait on what LPE wants. And maybe, just maybe, they could pick up their mage to match that Farsa.
Yeah, if I were them, though, pick up the Yuzong. It's open. It'll give the Farsa a lot of hard time. We've seen it being able to disrupt the Ling if you can just time the Black Dragon form. But they're going to go ahead and pick up the Alice instead. So that would potentially mean that this is going to be the Yuzong get banned out here by U-Level, because it could still be inserted into the lineup here of LPE. That's actually a fair point where they can actually still bring up another assassin in this lineup and actually send that Isan Shin into the gold lane instead. We've seen it in the past. We've seen it less and less, but teams have been able to try it out and make it work. It's just been a while. It might be risky. That's an option here for LPE if they want to take that risk.
And speaking of risk, we did see, I think it was Panda Gaming that actually went for a 2 marksman lineup earlier.
Yeah, so it was Reach Apex, definitely.
Didn't really work out for them. ArkAngel stomped them in that game. So having 2 cores, I'm not quite sure if LPA would like to do that for now. But we've seen a lot of glass cannon builds so far for the earlier matches that we had for this day. But for Limit Breakers right now, they already have the damage, the mobility. Again, the Farsa. What I like about the Farsa pick is not just her range, but also the option to just fly away from trouble. And with Sylvana being banned, there's almost no direct answer in caging that bird.
And now LPE actually take away the Yuzong, so they decided to not slot that in because it was still an option here for U-Level. So taking away the Yuzong means LPE, if this is gonna be a box attack, they're gonna be sending they might instantly lock in a Khalid and have the Khalid and then the Alice in the side lanes, and that means that they're just gonna be having a pretty much a 1 carry setup, but then the Alice and the Yuzong will be able to catch up in items to deal damage and fill in as sort of the secondary carry, except they're 2.
And except they're healing as much as well.
Yeah, and they're healing a lot also. So a lot of options here for LPE that they can do with the first 3 picks that they have.
And for the last 2 picks that they do have for both sides here, I do think that looks like the Cho would be a hover over, and I wouldn't be surprised if they lock that in. A Cho addition to any lineup, honestly, is just pretty okay, because honestly, this hero itself is very versatile. You can play him in tank, you can play him as an assassin, but mostly the flashier players tend to play him as an assassin.
And again, it stands true what you just said, because they can flex either of these 2 picks. And the Cho pickup was, of course, definitely to give this Ling a hard time, to give the Farsa maybe even a hard time. Now U-Level with hovering over the Atlas, it is a counter engage to lock it in, and I would actually be favorable with this pick, other than instead of like picking something along the lines of a Tiger or maybe any other tank that they might be thinking of.
Paquito's open. I didn't even notice, but yes, Paquito's open, and we did see a lot of Paquito highlights earlier in this day, and looks like they will opt for the Khalid instead. Khalid still a fresh pickup from the last match, and again, backline access, AoE damage, he got it all, even sustain, especially if LPE is lacking CC. And in terms of CC, they aren't really that great in terms of hard CC. They do have snares, they do have a little bit of a vacuum trick with the Louis, but other than that, there's really no stopping the quicksand guard.
Yeah, and that's with the lineup that LPE has, though. They have the ability to punish a too early entry by U level. That's the interesting thing about both of these lineups. Both of them have the potential to either be the one on the offensive and setting up the team fights and going for the initiations, or they'll be happy enough with just playing defensively and going for the counter punch and punishing instead. Both lineups have that capability, so it's gonna be a back and forth game of chicken to see of who's gonna bite first, who's gonna enter first, who's gonna go down first, or who's gonna decide to play defensively. It is the lower bracket. Both teams are not pulling any punches. Both of them definitely want to still stay alive in the qualifiers here.
And staying alive means winning games. For the team that loses tonight, sorry to say, they have to go home. And that is a long journey and a long, sad journey home, if ever, because it's a 3,000 game qualifiers, man.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how many games, how many practice sessions, how many hours these organizations have put to just be in this situation where one game could change it all.
And U level and LPE could be just 2 games away. This will end in a 2-0 from either advancing or going home. And looking at the matchups right now, I like how the Alice and the Esmeralda are faced up against one another. That Alice won't have a lot of sustain if... Oh wait, no, sorry. They'll be able to just sustain one another in fighting. But Escanor and Yota, look at it, already going at it in the top lane here. Aggressive rotations we're seeing from both of these two teams just to secure this Litho Wanderer.
Yeah, and look at the zoning potential that Louis could offer, but I think Dokmen actually tried to engage there, but then again, I think it's still too early to try and find fights, especially against a Cho who has an immediate access to mobility, damage, and a knockup. There goes the punches, and man, that hurts.
Yeah, and despite Cho being a tank, he is a natural fighter, so compared to other tanks who are also carrying tank emblems or support emblems, he'll still be able to do more damage, which is why early on, BMO can just make the most out of that to really annoy Dokmen and maybe Dian if he's too obvious with his positioning and he gets caught out way too early. And now LPE here, they're really just giving all the space and the time for Aspect, who just used the Mountain Shocker to give information to where the rest of U level are. LPE are playing this really well so far for their Isan Shin.
Yeah, and BMO's just zoning out Dokmen right now, and of course trying to create distance between the support and Graham here, and hopefully they do succeed in diving that, but looks like they will rotate in the mid lane instead. But let's look at the silent Ling so far. Ling has been silently farming and is yet to create a little bit of dissonance around the map.
Yeah, and I won't be surprised if we're going to be seeing the Ling game, the same Ling game that we just saw from Great Esports versus Empire Monarch, where just like a Leomord or old Leomord, he's really just going to wait and see and try to find the opening once the members of the opposing team are really low.
Yeah, Feathered Airstrike already falling down, but not so much on the heroes himself. But BMO might be in trouble here. Should go back to safety. The stun does land, and this might be first blood. BMO trying to run away. The shield is there. The turtle is already destroyed, and go back to the fight in the river, though. Aspect might be just trying the massive vacuum of 2 people, but first blood goes to the Alice as the Farsa goes down. The Yisun Shin takes another. That's 2 kills for LPE.
And U level, oh man, they overextended just to take down BMO, the 2 members of U level who were chasing down that Cho, that Shunpo shield, keeping him alive in just the nick of time from the basic attack of that Farsa. And what U level gave up in return was that turtle, and were kills to LPE, and this could be another.
The dragon, back to his team, and that's gonna be another kill for LPE. 3-0 is the kill score right now.
And Dogman is gonna try to just take down that siege minion, but this is a great start for LPE. U level on the other hand, man, a lot of hope on their team, and I think it was also Coach Dougie of Red Esports who mentioned that U level was one of his teams to move forward into the MPL along with World Challenger. and they seem like they can't find their flow. They can't find their groove ever since earlier.
Yeah, it feels like it's one of those days for ULPL, and it's so bad that it has to be this day. But the ultimate coming in from the choke plus a vacuum. The damage is unreal. Dogman might just die here as the Alice sucks the life out of it, but the Yisun Shin lands the arrow to the face. That's gonna be another kill. LPE going strong.
This is gonna be a really, really quick snowball that we're gonna see from LPE. Oh, good use of the diversion just to teleport into the bottom lane. Don't get over it. They're excited. There's no kills yet. Cram, look at BMO just eating the damage of the turret, and they secure the kill. The burst damage from the Low Yi. Great rotation and great communication from LPE.
LPE just really going at it right now. 0 and 5 with a great diversion to dive this bottom lane. BMO entering might just be in trouble here, but looks like he will be just dashing away. That Shunpo has been very handy for BMO.
And we didn't mention it a lot, but I really like the Low Yi pick here by LPE. Maybe because it's a little bit of my bias and he's one of my go-to picks, and I know a really good Low Yi player. Sometimes I feel like he's just sitting right beside me right now.
You know what? While you were talking about that, that turtle actually goes to the hands of LPE. A 5v4 is about to happen, but Escanor is a little bit too low. Limit breakers, they decide to back off instead.
Yeah, and that was a great play there by LPE, knowing that they had the inherent. Oh, that two-man knockup!
Oh, that's gonna be the follow-up though. Louis gets another kill. The turret looks to be the next objective. LPE takes their first turret of the game.
And just like that, they're out because they need to go on the defensive. LPE might secure a kill on that link if YNG's not too careful. He'll be able to bring the turret, but the damage from the Low Yi. Tempest of Blades already forced. He's gonna get run over and taken out by that East Sunshin aspect. Earlier, he was completely choked out. He couldn't farm. Now he's sitting at 3-0-3, man.
Oh, look at this. LPE, they know that they're ahead. BMO is just flexing that recall. And looks like LPE, not only are they aware, but they're playing their way to victory. And ULVL, they need to find their groove. They need to flip that coin back to their favor.
And I still cannot forget what BMO did earlier. I think they left Baksha by accident, or they did that on purpose. But LPE now have full control of the map. They've only lost one turret. They are in a 6k gold lead in the 6th minute here. This is really bad news for U level, and they need to wait out a little bit longer to have a really meaningful gold swing. And it's actually quite risky to try to make a big play to go for a gold swing here because of the item advantage that LPE has. So they really have to wait it out. It's gonna suck, it's gonna hurt, but it's something that they really need to do here, because if they take the risk just like this, it could be bad.
Man, Ulti as the first
it worked!
Melts them all! This looks to be the fight that Limit Breakers want, but the Alice is there to take it all away! LPE is back in this fight!
I just said it! It looked really good! That was a beautiful Fatal Links. The follow-up was there from Dian, but they gave up too much. They gave up 2 more kills to LPE. Limit Breakers, U level, they'll have to be happy that they were able to take down Aspect. But see, they don't have the items or the damage just yet to make a big play like that into a really rewarding experience, because LPE still can just eat up a good amount of damage and U level cannot dish out enough. That was a nice Fatal Link setup though.
That was a nice setup, I have to agree, but the damage still wasn't there as you said, and looks like Dokman still trying to find a play. A 2-man, but no follow-up. This is going to be a dead Atlas for now. A 4v1, a killing spree for the Lu Yi, and looks like this is going to be an uncontested turtle for LPE.
BMO isn't a part of the map, but he looked like a complete wall, just stopping the members of U level from helping out Dokman. He went in, he got the Fatal Links as he called there, but Dian, Cram, no one could come help him because BMO was just there like, hey guys, you want to get past me? Want to try? No, you're not getting past me here. And yeah, that was a really great play by BMO to stop the members of U level from fighting in there.
Man, I just have to say that pause, I feel like the nerves is coming in. The team that loses here is out of the qualifiers, and this is where the stress comes in. This is where you need that mental toughness. And especially when your back's against the wall. If you're, let's say, ULVL, you're one of the favorite teams. I mean, Coach Ducky vouched for you guys. And then, now that you're in the verge of getting eliminated, you need to feel for this, guys. Like, we're casters here. We actually just deliver the game to the viewers, try to make them enjoy, try to make them feel what we feel.
Yeah.
But then again, what do the players feel? Like, I feel like that's a good discussion that we can have while the game is paused.
It's again, we can't always say what exactly they're feeling, but we can usually we would see it if they had player cams, the body language, but we can actually even see it in the body language in game from how they move, how they're positioning themselves. You can see moments of hesitation. You can see moments of just sheer confidence, and it seems like LPE has sheer confidence. Meanwhile, U-Level is trying to get that confidence. Again, Docman is trying to make plays, but the hesitation and the sheer confidence this time, the hesitation that U-Level is showing is too much compared to the confidence that LPE is showing, that even if they got caught out in a bad situation like that, they thought, you know what, we're in the lead. Let's fight this. We'll lose one, we'll take a lot of damage.
The Dragon back to his team, and that's an immediate kill on the Kali. They're still trying to find more as the backstreet just goes wild behind that turret. Looks like the bot lane turret will be the next objective, though. That's another team fight that translated to another objective.
Yeah, and the Courage Mask was just picked up here by Docman. Docman getting the stun on Jake the Dog, but the Falling Star Moon onto 2! Cram able to get away from there, though. Another Fatal Links, but it's not as fatal as U-Level wanted it to be. Only Ryota goes down. Mega kill, double kill, 4 are gone.
Fatal Links wasn't the call there. The Alice wanted blood, and she got it. A 4-man ulti sucked everyone out in that fight, and now one lane is open for Limit Breakers. Another, like, the other lanes are still fairly safe, but then again, this is quite massive for LPE.
Yo, man, Arms' Low Yi just took down Escanor from 70 to 20. That was like just one combo of the rotation and the dispersion. What the hell? What the heck?
What can I say? Louis, feathered airstrike in the mid lane, but Jake the Dog is just too tanky, baby. That's an Alice that we're talking about. 2 to 15 is kill score right now, with an almost a roughly 10k gold lead, with another kill going to Louis.
And BMO with the pick off yet again. U-Level thought they could take down Jake the Dog, but again, they still do not have enough damage. And LPE, especially that Alice, has a lot of sustain. Feathered Airstrike just sidestepping it right on cue. And LPE, sorry to say this, U-Level fans, but it looks like they are going to be riding into a 1-0 victory here. Are the Laos Auto Group Playbook Esports team, unless LPE messes up big time.
A Lord choke might just happen. I mean, we've seen big comebacks coming in from Lord fights. LPE has to make sure that if they get this Lord, they do so safely. They do not want to hand over this game after a very strong start. BMO in the backside. This might be massive. Dan, wave a dragon, and he's dead. Unstoppable Alice inside the front lines as Graham does nothing to him. 4 people just getting zoned out as BMO tries to go in once again. They're back to the base. Go home, go back, and the Alice is just going ham.
And the Alice is raiding free right now. Monster kill, intercepting the link. That's going to be the damage coming out from U-Level, but they cannot do enough. Falling Star Moon onto 3. LPE cannot get kills just yet, but they said, you know what? We have the Lord anyway. Aspect and Ryota are covered there on the job. Let's just wait for it to come in, and I don't see this going any other way other than LPE securing this game 1 win.
LPE with the Lord marching. Will they wait for it, or will the Alice just find blood underneath the base? Wings for Wings will save the Farsa for now, and Jake the Dog is finally shut down. Bit more than he could chew. It's the Lord. It was too early, Reptar.
Yeah, I said it. It could be a mistake that Alice went in way too early. Jake the Dog is a big part of this lineup, and their members are low. What could have been the end game play here for LPE might just turn into like 1 or 2 tower break, and then they're going to be forced to go back. They'll take it anyway, but this game could have been over if only that Alice was alive.
Yeah, I have to agree with you over there. If Jake the Dog was still alive and the Lord marched down, they could have used the pressure coming in. Oh! Out of nowhere. Goodbye. You're gone.
Oh, man. Ours' damage is crazy right now. 6, 0, and 10. Rocking Magic Worship, of course. He'll get that extra burn. But man,
Magic Worship, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Yes, it's 6-0 and 10, but that damage is just a little bit too unreal. Yisun Shin, watch the damage. Just a little bit of poke. Gonna use it to clear the minions instead. Why you gotta do me like this, man? I was waiting for it.
Arvs, they're both level 12. But Arvs feels like he's level 15 and fully item locked. Cram, meanwhile, just has not been able to find his momentum this entire game, and actually the entire U-level squad.
And Feathered Airstrike, I feel it's not that safe there, but looks like they will enter the fight here as the Alice gets the Atlas immediately. The Ling, you can't even feel him anymore. Escanor will be tanking 4 people for a few seconds, but it won't wait anymore as the Farsa goes down. Aspect will go down as well to the Ling, and 2 lanes are still defended for the side of Limit Breakers. I think for them, that was a win.
Aspect, I just want to tell you, don't you dare be sour, because you still gotta respect the lineup of LB. The longer this game goes on, the tankier that Cram will be, the more damage he can take. So will be the Khalid. But the main damage output here of U-level is mainly really just at Farsa. Ling will just have to wait for the opportunity to get the kills. But LPE, you cannot keep making mistakes like that. Jake the Dog did it earlier. Now Aspect, yes, he was able to secure a kill, but he gave himself up in what could have been
the
again,
tankier.
more control over the map and more inhibitor turrets taken down here.
Or perhaps even the game, and now BMO is being too aggressive. I feel like LPE's confidence is starting to bite them at the back, and LPE, they need to tame themselves, control the desires to just go in and flex the strength. I think flexing the win would be better.
Woo. Take a quick breather here. And U-level and LPE are doing the same thing as well. Now respecting one another's power spike. LPE, you just said it. Now that they're positioning around the mid lane, just staying in the shrubs. Ryota, yes, we see your snowman. Nice.
Yes, thank you for flexing that Christmas-themed recall, Ryota. But going back to the mid lane, BMO trying to find something here. That's a good vacuum. And BMO trying to get a target here, but I feel like the Shunpo will fall a little bit short and the stickers will come in first. Wave the Dragon still available. Dokman trying to find a target here, but I feel like he's not finding anyone just yet. Fatal Link still available. BMO might just kick Cram back to his team, but decides not to since this is an Esmeralda, but this is a very extended team fight as Dokman will falling down, not sure, not yet, as Cram is just shielded up so badly.
Yeah, and LPE would have been a really bad situation for either team, but everyone just got completely split up in that game. Good thing Dokman was able to get back there. He almost went down. If he was lost there, they might not be able to do this, which is they're actually, I think they're gonna try to contest for the Lord, but LPE sees it.
Yeah, and that was a way of the Dragon immediately connecting on Escanor, but I feel like that wasn't really necessary. BMO just trying to zone out a lot of people away from this Lord area. Again, Lord chokes happen, and if it happens against LPE, it's gonna be bad for them considering how late the game is.
Yeah, that bottom lane shrub is where D and N, his farts are hiding right now, but Escanor is going to get caught out here. There's going to be a lot of damage, but a lot of committed right now by LPE just to take down that Khalid. It's 5 versus 4, but U-level might want to turn this around.
Yeah, they have to turn this around. Surrendering the Lord might as well be surrendering the game. Feathered Airstrike got cancelled early. Wave of the Dragon available right now. That's 2-man Fatal, but the Alice will kill the Ling, and the bodies are just piling up as Cram is just going in and out, but a legendary Luoyi just finds more blood than Limit Breakers. Jake the Dog is in the backside of Cram, falling Star Moon there, but it won't do a thing, baby. A killing spree for the Alice, and Dokman is the only remaining survivor.
This Atlas will have tried to pull off the defense of a century, but LPE, I don't think they'll try to end it just yet. They're gonna go for the inhibitors instead. Arvs has been an absolute all-star this entire game. Might be able to take out Dokman if he can get the combination right in time. Almost there! But the sustainability in the late game that the tank has, keeping himself alive there. LPE, they're being a little bit more disciplined now. Yes, they can end the game, but they want it in the condition that is at its complete safest.
Yeah, I have to agree with you over there. After that 2 massive blunders from earlier out of sheer confidence, LPE, they're still in a situation that they could lose this game because the Lord is still alive. At the moment, if they strike the Lord in the wrong moment and Limit Breakers is able to capitalize with the Farsa, with the Atlas, just could be a turnaround that Limit Breakers has been waiting for the longest time. It looks like the Lord will be fairly uncontested here. It's falling down fast.
Docman trying to get information. That might be a little bit too early, although the information is there. LB are going to try to go for it. The Ling is nearby. Does he have the retribution? Can he steal the Lord away? I'm not sure he's able to secure it. It's not yet locked in. LPE spot out the Farsa. Farsa's down, but the Lord is secured by the Khalid, and it's been stolen away by U-Level.
And U-Level with the Lord, they decide to back off. They don't need to fight this anymore. The Lord is with them. 3 people alive to defend, and Alice, they're looking for kills. They need to kill off members out of Limit Breakers if they want to end this game. 2 people defending the base plus the Lord marching down in top side.
Oh,
no! Ling is now down, and I feel like the Lord doesn't matter anymore, and it just might be game.
Yeah, they can just allow themselves to push down the mid here. Escanor, does he have the abilities? Nope, he just immediately gets knocked up and comboed. He's sustaining, he's holding on, he's trying, that's unstoppable, and the win here is inevitable. LPE without a minion wave will try to end it here, but can they? I don't think they can.
Oh no! It's still not over! Feathered airstrike just in time! And this might just be the most intense defense of this night. LPE, they can't close it out. And Limit Breakers, they're breaking limits left and right.
They did not have the minion wave, and oh man, Escanor was able to buy enough time. Less than 50% on the base. LPE just cannot catch a break with ending this game, homie.
And this is looking to be the spiciest one yet. LPE, their confidence is now risking their win. If one wrong play could change it all, and Ryota is very careful now.
This could be the final team fight as 3 members of LPE are pushing in the top lane. Dogman's gonna try to find an opening. Can he though?
Opening, is it created? Jake the dog is suffering so much damage from the Farsa. The Farsa is 264, but she feels like she's around 10 or 10-3 or something.
Yeah, the damage is definitely there already here. U-Level have the tools to pull off a hell of a defense, and this could be the hell of a setup for Dogman if he'll find it.
Call it an epic comeback if he finds the Fatal Links, but looks like Ryota is in trouble here in the backside. The Link is just dealing too much damage at this point, but the Khalid is just putting up with the waves so far as the minion waves will be crashing inside the base. And this is what LPE has against Limit Breakers. Limit Breakers have no minion waves pushing in their favor.
Blood Wings just picked up here by Cram. It's gonna be a bigger problem now for LPE to take that Esmeralda down again. U-Level, we're at that point where the items are starting to not matter anymore. It's now map control. LPE has the map control, but U-Level has the lineup to pull off a defense. This next Lord is gonna be crucial, because if LPE can take it without a loss, they can just wait for the Lord to make it all the way until to the base and just focus down the base and burn it down. U-Level, on the other hand, has the capability to steal it away yet again. They have the Ling and they have the Farsa, something that LPE has to watch out for.
Divine Glaive and Arves. This might just be a very good pickup for the Luo Yi. Again, the Luo Yi is deathless. If they find another good another good combo coming in from Arves, this might be game for them, but BMO in trouble here. 2 people chasing down the Cho, but again, he has immortality, so I feel like there's just a little bit of tickling in the top lane.
Yeah, Alice in the bottom lane though, just pushing that wave a little bit, forcing the Ling to defend, because the Ling is the fastest to respond and the fastest to get back to the Lord here. Again, very, very crucial play here. I won't be surprised if Jake the Dog does not leave the bottom lane at all and keep forcing a member of U-Level to go back.
2-man Fatal Links might be possible here, but he only gets 1, but the Feathered Airstrike finds the Yi Sun-Shin, and this is a massive pickup for the Limit Breakers. Tempest of Flames is calling damage on the backside, and looks like Jake the Dog will be finding 3 in the back again. This is a very divided fight so far, and Jake the Dog, no, the Cho gets the Ling, and this is just bad for both teams, as 2 of the best I mean, the cores are down for both teams.
No retries for either team, and it's a reset. They're both gonna have to wait, but Aspect is gonna get there faster. But BMO is taking so much damage from this Esmeralda. Yeah, sticker up. Sticker up, BMO. Oh, but he's gonna take it down.
And this is a massive pickup for the Limiit.
He's gonna get there faster, but BMO.
Atlas is there, and the Blood Ode will give him the easy exit out.
22 minutes. I think this is the longest game we've had all day. It's the lower bracket already. If you lose, you go home and take the dog.
Better airstrike. Jake the dog just might be in trouble here, but the Star Moon, the falling Star Moon, doesn't get the succubus, and this is just going bad so far for Limit Breakers. Dogmen really low here. And a split push coming in from BMO. Now all lanes are open for Limit Breakers.
BMO ate all the damage that turret threw at him because there was no minion waves. But because of how late we are into the game and how little life that turret had, BMO just said, you know what, I'm just gonna take it, man. I'm gonna break this turret. And he did, and he got away. This is really bad news for U-Level because they have no more lane control, and they're just really gonna be forced to play on the defensive unless they want to take the ultimate risk and try to steal that Lord, but I don't see that happening.
One more Lord steal might change this. Ryota finds the Kali. They do it with a wave. The Dragon Escanor still alive though. It looks like the diversion will be called for BMO only. And this this might be dead. And looking at the red side, they are going down. The Luoyi, the first dead of the Luoyi. This just might be the fall, but it's a monster kill for the Alice. It's a Tempest of Flame just called a little bit too late. LPE is still back at it again, and Dogman on the other side as Jake the dog is just killing it in the backside.
Arvs almost pulled a hell of a play with LPE. Not sure if you guys realized this yet, but yeah, of course, YNZ is gonna go down. But Arvs was charging up that Divergent teleport, and I think he was targeting it right at the base of U-Level. He had 3 members with him. That's enough to just focus down the base, but then it was interrupted just in time. It was either, I think it was most likely Dogman or Dion securing that stun or that interrupt on that low Yi, which was absolutely crucial to stop that teleport, which is why this game is still ongoing, but I feel like we're just delaying the inevitable at this point.
Yeah, and the Alice is already securing a good minion wave actually in all 3 lanes. Dogman trying to contest this Lord. He might just be able to steal it away if we see another Atlas miracle, but miracles won't happen if you ensure that the miracle is dead. That's gonna be no fatalism so far. 3 people in front. The Wave the Dragon is called, and the immortality is popped, and Dogman will fall. Alice is godlike. Escanor, he tries to run away, but the snare is there. No more dashes available for the Sands, and this looks to be a dead Khalid. 2 people down for the side of Limit Breakers as LPE flexes their wings.
The closest minion wave is that 1 siege minion at the top, and then the 2 minions that they have there in the bottom. LPE though, I think they can end it right here. There's another wave coming in, so I think, yeah, Womi, this game is over.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter if the feathered airstrike lands, it even gets cancelled, but they're trying their best to take out the waves. Cram, and this is the Gisun Shin securing the victory. Cram, no miracles will happen. A double kill for the Gisun Shin, and game 1 will go to the Eagles as they maul LPL.
Just like that, the game is finally over, but that was a hell of a match between U-Level and LPE, 2 teams that were favored to actually advance into the regular season. Now only one of them will make it through, possibly, because this is do or die. Get eliminated, you go home, win, and you're still alive in the lower bracket. What a game from those 2 teams. In the end, it was just the lineup that LPE had, along with the map control they had, really just kept them at a really safe spot no matter what. you level tried to do to get back here.
Yeah, it's great that you pointed out map control was really the key there for LPE. LPE really stood out in terms of getting objectives after team fights. We really saw on how they translated their early game advantages into objectives such as turrets, such as turtles, and that actually gave them a very big lead at the start. But again, their confidence got the best out of them. That's why it turned into a close match. Honestly, Reptar, you're right. If the Alice didn't throw the game earlier, it could have been finished by 5 or 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, but then, come on. They were able to get the win eventually, but it looked like it was kind of risky at times. But the lineup that they were up against, they didn't need to worry too much. I'm pretty sure when we throw it to Midnight a little bit later, he's gonna have a lot of things to say about this game. But yeah, that was a great game. One of the closest and longest games that we had the entire day.
Yeah, and hopefully we get to see an intense best of 3 series. But again, it's all been sweeps so far.
Yeah.
It's the story of the day. Let's see if the trend continues. But so far, what do you feel like it? How do you feel with the series? Do you think it's gonna go to a game 3?
I really strongly feel like it will go to a game 3 here because U level. I feel like in terms of the rotations, they're getting the hang of it. It seems like the draft is just still a little bit lacking. They had the farce of the Esmeralda and then the Ling, but then they didn't. Compared to the Isan Shin, compared to the Low Yi, that's just way more damage coming out of Laos Playbook Esports. So now all U level needs to do is just take a few more adjustments. They almost have that perfect draft. It's really, really close.
Yeah, and I feel like with all of our analysis, Midnight has more to say. So Midnight, for the post-analysis, take it away.
Well, tingin ko, mahirap pa rin talaga i-pull off ang isang Atlas. Very conditional. And tingin ko rin na napakaganda ng mechanics ng LPE. Once again, welcome to the Analyst Desk. My name is Midnight and i-breakdown natin kung ano ba nangyari dun sa game na yon. Bakit tumagal yung game at bakit kinaya pa rin isara ng LPE yung game na yon against U level. Now, first things first, sabi ko kanina, Atlas is very conditional. It felt like naghihintay tayo ng perfect opportunity. No? Although they did find one on the early game, no, nakabawi sila, but the story of the entire game was that LPE was just rolling on U level's base. Problem was, it's really hard to push the base of U level when you have an Esmeralda and a Farsan. Ang ginagawa lang nila is mag-clear ng minion waves. Now, we're gonna look at the items here of the teams. Very important to note, no? May isang magandang item na binili dito si Cho, yung Shadow Mask. They did one play wherein they caught the Khalid off guard. Unfortunately, hindi naging enough yun para tapusin yung laban. Pero it was cute enough na may mga ganong klaseng strategies ang LPE, no? Na surprise